Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. It's Maria. Today we are making pumpkins and leaves using epoxy. Let's get to it. Okay everyone, so these are my molds. I order my molds from Amazon. They have a variety of molds when you put it on the search, depending on what you're looking for. But here I am putting my gloves on. I did use 2 pairs of gloves for this project because I did have to mix a lot of epoxy, and when I did my coasters the first time I did use a lot and I lost a little bit because I put more than I should have in the cup. So I started with small sections on here, 2 ounces of the resin and 2 ounces of the hardener, and then I mixed. Now it took me some time to mix this because the temperature in my house was not really right. For some reason it was colder than it should have been, and it took forever to clear out, and I ended up doing them without them clearing out and adding the color to it, but it still worked out fine. But I do use the epoxy, like I do mix the epoxy a few times throughout the video, so you will see that I am mixing a lot in this video. Okay, so after mixing for some time, I gave up. My hand was killing me. So mixing a lot was like, a lot. Anyway, so I decided to go with what I was doing anyway and see if it worked that way. And it actually did. So it didn't clear out the way I wanted it to, but I started to move forward because I had already mixed it and I didn't want to go to waste. So I started to put my glitter in. I used orange glitter, red glitter, and yellow glitter on the molds, and then I add the epoxy on top. So here I am putting the epoxy into the leaf molds, and after I do that, I do like make sure that it's in the stem of the leaf before I put it to the side and let that set the rest of the day. Then I move forward. I add some paint into my epoxy. I do use my DIY paint, the fire starter, and then I use fancy Farmgirl, which is the green, for the stem of the pumpkin. So I am using different molds here. This is the small, medium, and large, and then I'm gonna pull out the other mold that you will see later on in the video. Okay, so I added the green, which is the fancy Farmgirl by DIY Paints, to this epoxy. I used the paint because I wanted to see how it was going to work with the paint, and it actually worked out pretty well. But I wanted to have the stem in green. Now, the other mold that I'm using is a larger one, and it kind of opens up. So you will see that after it is all set and cured. But I did want to add a little bit of green to the other 2 pumpkins. Okay, so like I said before, I used a lot of epoxy during this video. I started out small, using like the smaller cups and making 4 ounces of the epoxy, which is 2 resin and 2 hardener, but I ended up in the end using 4 resin and 4 of the hardener because I needed to fill the last 2 pumpkins. I did mix it this way because when I did the coasters, I lost about 4 ounces because I didn't use it, and the coasters aren't that big. So here I needed more than I anticipated, so that's why I had to mix so much. But other than that, I did end up filling these up to the top and mixing whatever I had to mix up, and I do use my heat gun to remove some of the bubbles that were left. But in the end, I do end up using about 24 ounces of the epoxy mixed together, 12 resin, 12 hardener. Okay, it's been 24 hours. I removed the epoxy out of the mold. The leaves actually came out really, really cute, but I will be using this in another video. You will see that coming up next. And the pumpkins actually turned out really, really nice as well. This is the bigger pumpkin. This gave me a hard time to take it out of the mold, but in the end, it came out. It turned out really, really nice. This one did have some bubbles at the end. I guess the heat gun didn't catch all of it, but I had no bubbles in the smaller ones or on the lid. So I guess make sure that your epoxy is in the temperature when you mix it, the room temperature is between 65 and 80 degrees, because I think that also had a lot to do with it. Other than that, this project turned out really, really nice. I hope you guys like this video. Please like and subscribe for more. Please look out for the other epoxy videos that are coming up next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.